16 months and counting. That's how long Oben has made us wait for its first electric motorcycle, the Rorr. It did boast of pretty impressive specs, both in terms of performance as well as range. But there were some key usability issues back then, specifically regarding the throttle calibration and the plastics and build quality levels. Have those been fixed? Is there anything new on the bike now? And more importantly, has it finally gone on sale? Answering the latter is easy, as Oben has delivered 50 units since July, and the bikes that we are riding are the final products and not prototypes. So here's what you can expect if you decide to get one. For starters, given the new AIS 156 norms put into place for safer EVs, Oben has had to rethink certain electric components. Like the motor is now only putting out a peak power of 8 kilowatts and not 10 kilowatts. That doesn't seem to have changed the claimed performance on hand, as the 0 to 40 acceleration time remains 3 seconds and the top speed is still 100 kmph. The Rorr certainly fits the bill of a 150cc class commuter motorcycle rival. Of its 3 riding modes, I ended up sticking to the sporty Havoc mode, as it just felt right in that mode. It was quick enough to get to 80 kmph, post which it trailed off, and reaching its top speed of 100 kmph, well, that could only be fulfilled if you found a nice long lengthy stretch of open tarmac. And I just wish the off-the-light drama was a bit more. Eco mode feels very subdued, and you would mostly keep it for those days when the battery levels are seriously discharged. City riding mode feels like a good compromise, but you will have to plan your overtakes well in advance. One of the initial complaints with the Rorr was its inconsistent throttle issues, and I can gladly say that Oben has put those 16 months to good use, because the throttle now feels direct and prompt, and there's none of the power loss when you tap the front brakes. More so, the regen braking in each mode isn't too severe, as it allows the bike to free roll for far longer. The 4.4 kWh battery remains the same, but as part of the rework, the claimed range is now 30 km less in real-world riding situations. Oben claims you could get more than 120 km in Eco if you ride more conservatively. But having judged how slow it feels in Eco, chances are you would end up riding more often in City or Havoc. Hence, ideally, you're looking at going for 75 km on a single charge, which isn't too shabby. Plus, Oben has done away with the onboard charger. It will offer you 2 choices now, a wall mount or a portable charger, both of which charge the bike with the same pace, 0 to 80% in 2 hours. The neat bit here is that the engineers have made provisions beneath the seat to take the portable charger along with you on your ride. There is a bit of sportiness with the way you sit on the Rorr. Now, I am 5 feet 9 inches tall, and getting to the bars, well, there is a little bit of forward arching to it. But most riders will find it very easy to hop onto the saddle of the Rorr. What I do have a bit of a niggle though is that these tank panels are fairly glossy, so I am not able to lock in my knees very well, and as a result I am continuously sliding around in the saddle. And finally, I just wish that the seat foam was a bit more plush as well as thicker, as it would help me stay firmly in control in the saddle. The Rorr continues to be a pretty capable handler and does delight you with its nice lean angles. There are no nervy moments to encounter now, especially since Oben has gotten the regen issue sorted now. On the downside, the firm ride quality continues to be a hindrance. The rear end remains tossy and borderline jarring, so a sight of bad roads and you will have to take the utmost precaution. We hope that Oben get you with the motorshock to be a bit more pliant, and the customers would be willing for the same, even if it came at the cost of a little step back in cornering potential. the brakes continue to be a major letdown on the Rorr, as it does not complement the good handling and performance package of the bike. The front end simply doesn't have adequate bite, and the rear feels a bit too snappy without giving you fair warning. What it results in are great massive slides which are lovely for hooning, but not advisable during panic braking situations. We wish that Oben provided the bike dual channel ABS, as it would help mitigate this issue to a great extent. On the surface, nothing much seems to have changed from the bike that was initially shown. It still continues to retain the same neo-retro Honda CB300R inspired look that it had quite before. But it now gets a few additional shrouding and protective bits, like this shrouding for the console, this protective bit for the battery, and on that side, a protective cover for the drive belt. Quality levels though remain subpar. The plastics feel cheap, and even the switchgear seems to have been borrowed from a commuter motorcycle. Bits like the side panel and the console housing seem far too bleh, and keeping it extremely simple once again in the features front, Oben has soldiered on with the same color LCD dash from before. Now though, it gets an ambient light sensor according to which it can adjust the brightness. It isn't a bugbear anymore. The screen pretty legible in broad daylight too. However, there's just very little data to contend with and no smartphone connectivity at all. Oben has given 2 USB charging sockets and a neat cubby hole to store small gadgets for charging on the fly. And lastly, there's also a continuous beeping sound to let the rider know the motor is active at standstill. While I get the safety angle associated so that it reminds the rider that the throttle is primed for action, but overall it comes off as pretty irritating. It could have been executed better with far longer pauses between each beep, or not have it at all, and maybe have a telltale sign on the dash for the same. At Rs 1.5 lakh introductory and Rs 1.65 lakh post that, the Oben Rorr has become rather pricey, but it is a far better product than what it was 16 months ago. Oben has taken its time, but delivered on a good electric motorcycle experience. It is far from perfect, and I wish it had a bit more wah-wah-voom off the line. We would like to put it through a thorough test cycle once we get this bike back in Pune or in Mumbai. But until then, this does seem like a good electric motorcycle that you would want to commute daily on. What do you think about the Oben Rorr? Do let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and share this video, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell notification icon. Please wear a helmet on every ride, but more so, wear every single piece of riding gear as much as you can. Stay safe, and we shall see you soon.